Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel for another exciting fun-filled episode on this Passagemaker dinghy build. We got lots to do, so let's get at it. Alright, so first thing this morning I came out and turned the boat over and stretched my center line in, and I think we are pretty darn close on that Dagger board trunk. If anything, it may be that the insert I did is off a little bit, but that Dagger board trunk is right in line. About as close as I'm going to get it. It's a lot better than it was, and like I said, you can see that maybe that the plug itself is off a little bit, but there's quite a bit of parallax going on here too. So anyways, I am good with that. I'll go ahead and I think I'll probably go ahead and route that out here today. And I'll have to turn the boat back over to do the bottom. And yeah, so the next thing I want to do, and we've got a weather window coming up here, is to put the seats in. All right, so I got the back seat and the front seat to put in, and I think the front seat's okay. I think the back seat needs just a little bit of adjustment. So that's my plan of attack today, is to get the Dagger board trunk hole routed out on this side and the bottom, and then start working on the fitting the seats in and figuring out how we're going to do that. The weather window is I think it's mid next week, so Wednesday, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, sometime in those days there. I think we're going to be able to finally get the seats in. So anyways, let's go ahead and get the figure out how we're going to route out the center there and get working on that. All right, don't know if you can tell or not, but I've got the boat actually up on its edge, so I've got better access to working on this hole here. I've got two lines drawn on here, and I'm going to go ahead and use the jigsaw to get rid of some of this material. We know when we go to route it that the router doesn't like a lot of material start smoking and catch the boat on fire. So anyways, I got my handy dandy jigsaw here, and I'm just going to go ahead and make these cuts, and as long as I don't screw it up, we should be okay. And I forgot all of my safety equipment. This stuff is flying in my eyes and up my nose. What did I do with it? Alright, that's better. Alright. Pretty close on this edge here. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get the drill and make this a little bit bigger. Yep. All right, let me get the drill and the router. Get all my tools out. All right, that ought to be big enough for the router to fit in. That was just a 5/8 inch spade bit. All right, had to put a new ball bearing on this this trim bit here, so I think we're all set to go. I'm gonna down here and see what I'm doing. If you remember right, the the plug I put in is quite a bit thicker, so I may have just hosed this up again. All right, let me pause here and figure out what I'm gonna do. All right, so the problem here is that this this plug that I put in is thicker than this this bit is wide. So I think I might have got just a bit of a problem here. But what I do have is much better, a better one here. This is way way too big, but I think I'm better off being big here because I can get below any of the squeeze out that we had, and then we'll go along and do that, and hopefully most of this will go away. This just a little spot here will go away when we do a big old round over on it. So once we get this out, we'll come back and put a big round over on this whole section, or the whole thing, and hopefully that'll hide my sins here. Yep, that's a lot better. Well, that's a nice, that's amazing what a good blade will do on the router. Let's go ahead and lower this down a little bit more, and we'll go ahead and do this top part. Probably should, let me see if I can vacuum some of that out of there. And this side doesn't need nearly as much. Something goofy going on here. Oh yeah, this is pretty close on this, sorry, it's pretty close on this top side here, so there's not much that needs to come off. Yep, got a little bit of a problem here on this side, but like I said, hopefully when we do some round over here, it'll fix most of that. Other than this spot right here, we're looking good. All right, let's see. Where's let me find a good round over bit here. All right, the problem I have here is the ball bearing would be riding on the damaged areas here, so I'm gonna have to kind of go around and try to maybe even just freehand those a little bit. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. If it comes down to it, I may have to actually put some thickened epoxy in here to try to fill this in, and then and then router that out. Yeah, let me go ahead and I can get the good part of this done anyways, and then let's see how it looks from there. What did the book say to put for a round over? I think, wasn't it something outrageous? 3/8 inch round over bit in the router does a nice job of relieving the sharp corners. 3/8 inch. All right. All right, not too bad. I have to do some sanding on that anyways. If I have some thickened epoxy I may left over, I'll try to remember to fill in this. There's a pretty good gouge up here, and just a small one right here. But with some sanding and some filling in there, that'll be just fine. So I'm gonna get the boat turned over, and since I'm all rigged up to do these route outs, let me go ahead and get the one on the bottom next. And then we'll have to flip the boat back over and get start working on the seats. All right, so this is we got the bottom up now. You can see I should have spread that thickened epoxy when I did this fiberglass. I should have scraped it out a little bit, made it a little bit more even instead of the globular fashion that it is now. But that's all right, I think, because this is going to be painted. There's a pretty good ridge right down the middle here where we put the two pieces together, but that's mostly going to get cut out. So yeah, so we still got a little bit of work to here, but let's go ahead and get this cut out. I switched to, that was part of the problem on the top side, was I used a 5/8 inch bit, and I think I should have used this 1/2 inch bit. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the, let's see, I think I'm going to try to do, let's try it right around here and see what that does. Alright, that's not too bad, and I'll go ahead and get another one at this end. Then I'll go ahead and get the jigsaw out, and we'll cut out the middle part. Just give me some kind of idea where I need to go. Not too bad. I don't think I hosed this up at all, which is a good thing. Not quite big enough. There we go. All right, not too bad. Have a couple of spots where there's some ooze out. I should be able to get the file in there and clean that up. In fact, I think I'll do a little bit of filing on this here. There's a pretty big goop down here. The rest of it I can just clean up pretty quick. So let me get that done and we'll be right back. All right, let's see if we can clean this up now. All right, much better. Now we can do the round over. I just had a thought. I think I'm going to give this a sand first. Yeah, I'm going to give this a sand first because with the it's not even close. So with the uneven surface here, that'll cause the router to waggle a little bit. So I think putting a sanding this down a little bit is going to give me a better result here. So let me get that first. But how am I going to do that? Let's see here. I think we'll just use the orbital sander. Yeah, that should be fine. All right, just got some clean 80 grit and all right, that's better. All right, not too bad. A little bit of waviness in there. We'll have to do some sanding anyways. So I think that's, we'll call that mostly a success, I think. Take them where we get them, right? All right, then. Ran out of steam yesterday, so it's another day out here in the shed. I want to start doing the prep work here for getting the seats in. Hopefully we'll be able to do that. I'm hoping Wednesday is going to be cool enough so that we'll be able to do some pretty big epoxy work. But we got ways to go before we get there. So let me get the, you remember they had us do the back of the seats, or the bottom of the seats with just thin epoxy just to seal them up. So I know I'm going to have to do some cleanup around the edges and we'll have to do some cleanup here on the boat too. But first off, let's go ahead and get this set in here so that we have an idea of what we need to do here. Alright, so that fits pretty good actually. Looks like we're, yeah, I think I'm going to have it go all the way forward there because I get a better fit up here. Let me get a pencil. So underneath the seat should be sealed, but I don't think I got that. I don't think I got that close. And I want to, if we do have epoxy in some places, I want to make sure I roughen that up. I'm just going to put a line. It's a pretty big gap up here at the front. I think I'm gonna have to make sure I get a good, that's gonna be quite a bit of epoxy to fill that in, but I think I need to fill these front areas in quite a bit. Not quite sure why that is. All right, that's not too bad. So I don't think I need to do any major adjustments. We're looking side to side, we're looking okay. Front to back, we're looking all right. So on this one here, I think just doing the like I said, I may have to. I'll probably use. I don't know what I'll use. Let's take a look, see how much epoxy to seal the boat we have to do. And I'll have to do a little bit of sanding along the edges of the seat itself. Also, one of the problems I'm looking at is how do I set this in here? So the idea is that you mix up a bunch of epoxy, thickened epoxy, put it along below the line, then you sit the seat on top of it. But I'm not sure how I'm going to get that accomplished without putting my fingers, right? So I can't really do it on the sides, front and back. I can do it on the back side here, but on the front, I can't really do it that way. Maybe I'm making this too complicated. Maybe it'll just be a matter of putting it in there and dropping it down. I don't know. All right, so I'm quite a bit short on the sealing the epoxy here, so I am going to have to do some work there. I think I'll go ahead and plan on doing that right before. Well, yeah, heck, so I can do that the same day that I do put the seat in. Just mix up some clear epoxy and slap it on here, run the bead around, and plop the seat down on it. So the only thing I think I want to do is roughen on this front part here, is roughen up this the cleats that I put in here, and yeah, that should be it. So I've already got epoxy here, so I want to roughen that up. Oh, and then probably just do a little bit more sanding in the front here. That seems pretty good there. Just do a little bit of sanding here, on there. Yep. All right. So good. I think we got this front one shouldn't be too bad. Let me go ahead and get that get this cleaned up and ready. And we'll do another fit. Oh yeah, and then I'll have to do the edges of the seat. I want to the actual edges, I want to sand that pretty good, and maybe even a little bit on the back side. All right, good. Let me pause here, and we'll be back in a little bit. All right. Yeah, so I started doing the cleanup, and was gonna do another test fit here, and I was like, well, something's off a little bit here. Wasn't sure what it was. Looking at the book, they've got us doing a fillet along the top on the front section, and then on the back they want us to do a fillet underneath, and then this part is the part that gets cut. So that makes sense to me. And then I was looking, I was like, well, I've got a gap on one side and not on the other. And then looking at it closer, let's see if I can do this here. The two notches here on the seat weren't fitting in between the two rebates here. So I need to move these rebates back just a little bit on both sides, and I think I'm going to go ahead and use the rasp saw to do that. Or just use a flat rasp to see if we can move these both on these rebates back a little bit on each side. Yep, still needs a little more. Perfect, that's better. And also the yeah, so it had been caught up on this side, so this line I've got over here is just a touch too high, so I'll redraw that one. But then after that, I think we're ready for this. Like I said, so it'll give you a lot of detail on how to do this this bulkhead here. So they say to put a bead along the cleats and along this top mast support here. They don't say anything about this this other bulkhead, but I think I'm going to probably be putting a small bead there. They do say to put a fillet underneath when you're done. I guess when the boat's upside down again is what they say, to do that fillet there before we cut the boat apart. So I have to think about that a little bit. Like I said, I think I'll probably put just a little bit along here just to try to glue it down at the same time, and then concentrate mostly on this part and the mast support. All right, let me clean this line up here that I gotta redo. And oh yeah, so I'm not sure if I showed or not, but on the back side I've gone ahead and hopefully this shows up, but I've gone ahead and scuffed up this middle section. This is where the cleats will be, and then this is the mast support here. Probably need to just hit that a little bit more. Probably should measure it, in fact, to make sure I've got a good coverage there, but I've got the edges all sanded down pretty good and roughed up along where I would expect the thickened epoxy to hit. So, all right, so let me pause here, get this cleaned up, and then we'll see if we can get the back seat fitted in. All right, then let's go ahead and give this back seat a shot here and see how this looks. This is going to be... How the heck am I going to do this? I might be able to go like this. Alright, so we're a little tight here. Oh yeah, we're a lot tight. So I think it's hitting, yep, it's hitting right here along this edge. Let's see if we got any room back here. I can't tell. I can't tell what. See, they've got a little bit of a cutout on the back of the seat here. I'm not sure if that's supposed to, where this is supposed to actually sit. So I guess the first thing to do is both of these slots here. Well, this one isn't too bad. Let me get the pencil. Yeah, this one's going to take quite a bit of adjustments, I think. Yeah, yep, got lots of adjustments here. So these front corners here are out too wide, and then the slots, front side's good, the back sides are touching, but I'm wondering, what I'm wondering is if I need to, where's it catching here to keep it from going backwards. All right, let me get the rasp and we'll do some adjustments here. All right, we're gonna try sneaking up on this one. It'll take quite a bit of work, but I think we can take the time and see if we can sneak up on it a little bit. Might be time to look at the manual. I don't like the way this this back part here is sitting on really nothing. We'll have it there, and then well, they got one picture, and it shows this part here, and it looks like this is the right spot for it. I almost think that there should be a cleat or something underneath it, because really the only parts that are touching here are this front side on the bottom, are this bulkhead here, and on the sides until we get to the corner. This whole back side isn't really supported. It isn't really even hitting the this back the stern of the boat here. Alrighty, let me show you what's going on here. So I'm glad I went back and looked at the manual. One of the things that we're supposed to do is put these little shark fin knees on both sides of the take apart bulkhead when we put this all together. So they say to trim these up and get them to fit nice, and then do a tack weld on them, and then put the epoxy fillets on later. So that's all right. So one of the things that is I got to do is this fillet here that looks real nice. I'm going to have to take a little bit of it out, I think. I've got to at least sand it because this square edge here keeps it from fitting real good. Just a little bit of sanding, and hopefully we can get that to see if I can show you here. You see I got quite a bit of an overhang on that side. So we got quite a bit of work to do on both sides there for these that need to go in at the same time. As far as I can tell, they need to go in at the same time as the seats go in. So I got, and then once you put them in, you just clamp them together, and then do the fillets on those after the tack epoxy cure. So we got those two to do in the front here. Also in the front, we got to put in this knee, this front knee. Sorry, the sun's right in the way, but it goes in here like this, and of course let's see if I can show you. It's gonna be pretty tough here. Yeah, so you can see I got quite a bit of trim in there. There you go. So in order to get that square, I'm going to have to trace that out and get the, there we go, trace that line out and get this knee whittled down so that it fits good. And then, like I said, I think it goes in at the same time as the seat does. Then similarly, it's kind of the same here in the back. We also have another knee to put here in the back. I've got this back seat sitting okay. I'm still trying to decide if I wanted to put a cleat under here or not. This is what this knee here, it goes right around like that, sits better. Still got a little bit of adjustment needed there, but it sits better when the back of the seat is sitting up. If I push this down like that, so that the top of the seat is underneath this back doubler here, then it gets the gap gets a little worse. With it sitting up on the ledge here, the seat sitting up on this doubler here, it fits a lot better. So anyways, I got quite a bit of work there to do. I'm not sure now if I'm going to make the weather window coming up here to get these seats in or not, but let me think a little bit about this, and then we're going to probably finish up this video a little bit earlier. All right, looking at the handy dandy manual here, let's see. So clamp in place with thick epoxy, let them cure, add epoxy fillet to match. So the doubler should be trimmed to fit and glued on at the same time you're filleting the seats in place. So we got to do take apart bulkhead doublers when we're gluing the seats in place, but then the knees look like they are done afterwards. So the only thing I'm going to do with the knees is mark where they go so that I'm not fighting the having to trim around the fillet. So I'll try to clear off that fillet area where the knees on the bow and the stern go, and that way hopefully that'll help me out, and I won't worry about trimming these up until we got the seats glued and filleted in place. So that helps me there. So all I really have to do is get the knees straightened out. But I'm going to go ahead and end up this episode here. This is real time. This is Monday. Hopefully I get this video up this evening. Maybe not by 5, but we'll try to get it up this evening. And then I think I've still got a day to work on the doublers for the knees. Yeah, so I know tomorrow is going to be warm, and then the next day is, I think, the first opportunity I'll have for actually putting the seats in. So I'll still have tomorrow, and then Wednesday and Thursday should be days for actually getting the seats glued in. Hopefully that goes good. You'll want to make sure you check out next week's episode, and I think I'm going to stay with the weekly episodes, but it may be one that gets in there in between. We'll see how it goes, see what kind of progress I make. But for now, I want to say thanks for watching, thanks for your support. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Please leave me any comments, questions, suggestions down below. Please tell your friends about me, and please subscribe. Everyone, take care and be good.